All right, so this will be episode 2 in my upgrade of my sprinkler system, 25-year-old sprinkler system. My first episode 1 was just digging out the current manifold and the decision process for deciding to replace the whole thing. So I finally got my new parts in. Well, not finally; they came in pretty quick. But I got my new parts in, and this is the new manifold that I'll be building. So this is the before that I'm dealing with. When these valves were installed 25 years ago, this whole system, everything's glued in place. So you can't change a valve without destroying this whole, manifold. I got a six header manifold here, and what I'm going to do is put quick connect fittings on either end of this so that I can change valves out going forward. What folks do now with this setup is you take the valve apart and replace, if you can still get these parts, you buy a new valve, take the guts out of it, and then replace it if the diaphragm goes bad, or I think that's really all there is inside it is the diaphragm. So, and then you got the solenoid, so you can change the solenoid, you can change the diaphragm. If there's anything other than that, you can't cut this valve out and put a new one in without destroying this whole manifold. So I'm going to do a manifold quick connect fittings that I can easily change valves out. So this is the before, and I'm going to clean up all this wiring. And I'm not a plumber, not an electrician, but I'm going to this is going to be a DIY process where I'm going to take my time and do things the way I think it should be done properly. So this is what we're starting with. And I also want to highlight that a lot of the things I do in this DIY world is maybe overkill. I want to just, the guys that do this for a living, if they did things the way I do it, they never make a dime. I put a lot of extra labor in this. As you'll see as I go along, that it's just the habits I have. And like I said, if I would have to do this for a living the way I do it, I wouldn't make a dime. My prices would be so outrageous. I'm probably putting 5 times more labor into this. You'll see with my wiring and everything I'm going to do is going to be overkill. But just a disclaimer that what I'm doing to get somebody to pay somebody to do it that way, they'll probably tell you you're crazy. But as far as the DIY world, which is why I encourage DIY, if you got the time to take the extra steps to make sure that everything's done properly, is going to last a long time. It's going to be easy to think ahead so that when there is an issue that you can address it. You need to change a valve out, for example, you can change it out easily without having to cut into a manifold. So just kind of a disclaimer there. So these are the parts for the new manifold. I'm going with, in my first episode, I had a six station manifold. I'm going down to 5. There's one station I don't use anymore. So essentially there's seven part numbers here that I ordered to make this happen. So the first part, I got these parts from Action Machining. I think they're maybe in Wisconsin. But the whole setup, 5-station manifold with everything I needed to tie in my valves, quick connect, and then tie in my 1-inch PVC pipe is included. So there's seven different part numbers, and I'll show this in a picture. But number 1 is the most they have is a four station header, and then they have one, two, three, four So you can tie, 2 4s together to get 8 or whatever you need. So in this case, I need 5, so I had to buy a. First part number was a 4-station manifold plus a 1-station manifold that I tied together. So I got one of these, number 1 times 1, number 2 times 1, and number 3 is this coupling to tie the 2 pieces of the manifold together. That's part number 3. And then part number 4 is just an end cap to close up the end of the where my manifold will be just stopped here. It's going to be coming in from this end. My main line will be coming in, and this will be just capped off on this end. The next piece is coming from the manifold, quick connect fitting manifold, down to my valve, and I need 5 of those. That'll be part number 5. Part number 6 is to get from the valve down to my adapter for my plumbing. I need 5 of those. And then the last part is the adapter that my pipe is going to glue into. So, my piping will glue into that. And I needed 7 of those. 6 of those. 5 for each line coming off the manifold, and then 1 for the line, the inline coming in. So those are all the parts I need it, and I'm going to go ahead and assemble this. I got my valves in. So all these parts from Action Machining that you see right here, $106. And if I were to go buy quick connect fittings from a home improvement store and do all this myself, I just did a quick estimate in my head. It would probably be, $60, $70. So this to me is a real good deal at $106. I think I got a 15% discount for putting a discount code, giving them my email. But yeah, I thought this was a really good value. And everything's, got O-rings in it. Where all the fittings go, everything has O-rings. So I'm really happy with this. So, and then my valves, Rainbird, 5 brand new Rainbird valves that are threaded. Again, I need threaded on both ends so I can change them out if they do go bad. So these are $31 a piece from Amazon, and they're 100. The model number is 100-DVF-NPT. And I got 5 of those at $31 a piece. So now I'm going to put them all together. All right, as I assemble these, I like to use a little silicone spray on any rubber gaskets. So first thing I'm going to do is put make the 5-piece manifold. I don't plan to use any Teflon tape. Since these are O-ring fittings, the O-ring seats down on a flat surface, so no Teflon tape required. These all in line, obviously. My end cap can go on now. guess I can put this incoming receiver on. And again, to explain why I'm not using Teflon tape, is these fittings seat on this O-ring. So it's not, the threads aren't what's sealing this. It's this O-ring seated on its mating flat surface. So that's the reason no Teflon tape. Okay, so that's my incoming manifold finished. And we're coming in with the adapters to get to the valve. Don't have to be really cranked down, just till that O-ring seats. And I also like the silicone on there so the O-ring doesn't bunch up as you tighten it down. I like to have it slide a little bit. Okay, now the valve. Let's see, flow. These are marked flow. Goes this direction. So there's a flow button, flow arrow. So this is where my water's coming from, and this is where I want it to go. So it's going in this direction. Now here, the outgoing side, this is, I guess that's being sealed on there. So there's a little lip on this. I don't like that because I want this to seat on this O-ring. If that lip catches this, it's not going to let it seat on this O-ring. So I'm going to file this little lip down on this first. And to knock this lip down, I'm just taking 100 grit sandpaper. I'm going to try not to get sanding debris inside the valve. Yeah, it's coming off really easy. It's just, I think it's just kind of a mold line that's pretty thin. So that's all it took to take that off. I'm going to do the other 4. All right, so again, I hit all the O-rings in here with silicone. Flow is coming this way. The solenoid is away from the flow, and you can see that this rubber gasket is going to seat on this surface. So I guess if you wanted to be extra sure, you can put Teflon tape on these threads, but for this setup, it's maybe belts and suspenders, but I'm going to try it without Teflon tape. Alright, so I'm going to have to install these in the valve first. there is a, you know, slots on these for a wrench, but you shouldn't need to put a wrench on it. Again, you don't want to totally crush that O-ring. You want to just snug it so it's O-ring's doing its job. Go ahead and put the other three on. All right, then the last piece is to install the, I guess maybe nipples or whatever these are that you tie your, this will be the outgoing plumbing that's going to glue into this piece. So that if a valve does go bad, just disconnect here, change the valve, and screw right back into your original plumbing with no cutting. Okay, these are all tightened down. Now this O-ring is going to seat on the face of this valve body. Again, just hand tight. I'm going to finish the rest of it. All right, there it is, all assembled, ready to tie into the PVC, the 1-inch PVC lines. So I've got $330 into this as it sits. 160 in the manifold and 170 in the valves. That's delivered to my door. So that's episode 2, building the manifold, and I haven't disconnected anything. So next step, I'm going to take this out to the box and determine how I'm going to tie this in. I don't want it sitting as low. In fact, I may leave the existing manifold in the ground and just sit this on top of it, because I want this sitting up maybe as much as a foot. But if I sit this on top of the other one, I'll get, you know, almost 6 inches higher than where the current one sits. So my main line coming in, I'm going to have to, you know, come up and 90 it over, and then all these lines are going to just come up 90 over into these fittings. The spacing between these is the same as my manifold. 4 inches between these, which is not a problem. This one is 5 1/4 inches from here to here. So I guess standard PVC, when you build, if you just use standard T's, you get the 4-inch spacing. So I'm going to have to come up with another 1 1/4 to get the line in the ground over to this fitting. So I'm going to have to do some kind of 45 or 90, side 90 to get to that. So yeah, that's episode 2. More to follow as I progress. Peace out.